Okay, I released the Will You Snail demo last Friday, so I think today is a nice day to look through your feedback. I set up this beautiful feedback form so we can have a look at all of the stats and all of your responses, what you thought about the game Will You Snail. If you haven't played it yet, the link to that is in the description, so you can still check it out, of course. But for now, let's look through all of that and let's try to extract some useful feedback that we should implement into the game. I have obviously my beautiful Trello board here, and I'll just copy everything I want to do into my to-do lists here. I have low prio, medium prio, and high priority. High priority, I think I can already start filling some stuff in here, is definitely fixing the performance. So you can see here, one of the first questions was, did you run into any performance issues or bug? And there were definitely a lot more issues than I would have liked. The release week was already pretty stressful. I already tried doing my best to improve the performance as good as I possibly can. Unfortunately, it didn't quite cut it. So yeah, sure, it's about almost feels about 50-50. Maybe 25% of the people writing in here had some performance issues. Problem being, I did a little bit of a mistake. I linked the feedback form at the end of the game. That means all of the people that ran into very drastic performance issues probably didn't even have the chance to submit their feedback here because they didn't even make it all the way to the feedback form. So that was a little bit of a dum-dum by me. I tried to fix that by putting the feedback form on the itch.io page, but nonetheless, that definitely screws with the stats a little bit. Hi everybody, thanks for joining the stream. My channel grows very fast. Yes, I've noticed. Especially the last couple of weeks, I can definitely see that hockey stick growth. But let's wait and see. It's always like that. It goes up and down. But the main tendency we're seeing is obviously up, so that's a good thing. Very glad that what I'm doing here seems to be working. And also very happy that for the most part you seem to like my game. Once again, the question is how accurate those stats are, because obviously a lot of the people who played the game are viewers of the channel and therefore are more likely to be supportive of the game. That's just the way it is. But anyway, quite happy with this beautiful pie graph right here. By the way, let me know if any of this is too small. I don't know. Are you watching on your mobile devices? Then you can probably see nothing. Let me try to zoom in here a little bit. Yeah. Just can't make it too big, otherwise gets a little annoying to work with. Okay, but this should be fine, right? Okay. Hi. Okay, so what's your general impression of the game? Blah, blah, blah. Most people answered kind of cool, I'd like to keep playing, or OMG, I can't wait for the full game. Then let's see if there are any performance issues that I wasn't aware of. Post-processing bloom doesn't look as intense as I know it from YouTube. That's because I implemented a system that automatically disables the post-processing if your game doesn't run fast enough, so that's the reason for that. And then here, some people, for some reason, thought the jumping is kind of weird. Okay. I see this is because this person didn't get that the jump height depends on how long you press the button. So guess that is something I should teach the player. Medium priority. Teach the player that the jump height depends on how long you press the button. I think that can be quite frustrating if you don't figure that out. Performance is very bad, 30 FPS. It's very slow and nearly unplayable. So I assume this is even after the post-processing has been disabled, so this is highly concerning. Obviously, I don't expect the game to run on every single machine, but I'd still appreciate it if it ran on the majority of machines. At the moment, it's clearly not running properly on enough machines, so one of the most high priority tasks is improving performance. This is also a high effort task. This will probably not be super easy. I hope it can be done. I hope we'll be able to fix it, because a simple 2D platformer, let's be real, it should pretty much run on every single toaster out there. Otherwise, I'd be kind of disappointed. Maybe it doesn't need to run on every poster, but you know, it should at the very least run okay on most devices. One PC freeze, once again, a little concerning. Low frame rate at the beginning, but then it was okay. So that's once again the post-processing that just disabled itself. Some dips here and there, slightly concerning, probably already scratching the limit there of this specific machine. So the problem with testing the performance is really that I'm working on a relatively good PC. That means I don't notice any of these issues. And even worse, at the moment I don't have a bad PC to test on. I wish I had a bad PC to test the game on, so I could see how it runs. Problem being, I only have good computers, so don't know how to test this. It's pretty hard to test. My gamepad doesn't work, so sorry about that. That's the fault of GameMaker. There is probably nothing I can do about that. Except maybe you could tell me which gamepad it was, in case you're watching this. And then I can reach out to UU Game Support, something like that. Other than that, nothing I can do about that. Starting the game was very difficult because it opened itself often. Once again, very, very strange. Maybe you accidentally opened it multiple times. That's the only thing I can imagine. Oh yeah, by the way, if you were one of the lucky persons the game didn't run for properly, is that proper English? If the game didn't run properly on your PC, I'd be definitely very grateful if you reach out to me and help me to test this and fix all of the issues. Because as I've said, I unfortunately only have PCs it's working on now. At the beginning it wasn't working on the PC of my dad, but I managed to fix that, but apparently it's still not working for a lot of people. You didn't see the snail at the beginning. What the hell? How is that possible? Oh, I think my mic is a little too sensitive. Do you have any ideas how I may be able to improve performance? Yeah, I have a couple of ideas. I mean, there are a couple of things in general you can do to decrease the amount of draw calls, to make shaders simpler. And then there are also just straight up performance settings to disable particles or whatever might be causing issues. So I gotta do both things, I guess, both improving performance in general and then giving low-end machines some ways to decrease the workload the machine has to do. If you give me your good PC, I'll give you my bad PC. I'm very tempted. Okay, this one didn't run smoothly on your PC. That's something. So yeah, that's great. Thanks, Jan. But I'm even more concerned about the machines where it didn't run properly even after turning post-processing off. So that's what I find really concerning. But even if you help me to get the post-processing working, that would already be great. Hey, Paul. Welcome to the stream. We're looking through the feedback for Will You Snell because I released the demo last Friday. At the moment I'm complaining about performance issues. Paul, I guess you were one of the players where Post-processing didn't work either. Maybe it works now. I don't know. I improved the shader a little bit. YouTube link didn't open, but I'm zapped already. Okay, then it doesn't really matter. You can kill yourself twice if you just press the right arrow key. Yeah, that's a little bug. Low priority for sure. No game breaker. I had almost the whole time 50 FPS, but I'm playing on a laptop with an Intel Graphics 3000, so not good. Every time I died, the performance went down a lot. Okay. Okay, that's not good. See, that's what I mean. This is what I'm really concerned about. I can turn the post-processing off. This is nothing I have a solution for right now. Big FPS counter was annoying. Yeah, the FPS counter only appears when when the performance is too low. So this guy obviously had problems as well. T-Series or PewDiePie? PewDiePie, of course. PewDiePie's awesome. Even though I'm not a 9-year-old. I'm a 9-year-old inside, let's be real. Second time I launched it for like 2 or 3 seconds. When you first appear, the FPS was very low, but from there it was perfect. Okay, so once again, post-processing didn't work. Low FPS appeared for some reason. See this? This is too many people. This is too many machines. Please more none. The AI reset me to the start of the game 2 times. Yeah, sorry about that. That's your own fault. Multiple FPS drops at the beginning. But what I've definitely seen about the AI resets is that some people found them a little annoying. Others, on the other hand, found them quite amusing. So we guess we could find a solution somewhere in between where we could at the very least make these restarts a little more interesting. Maybe the level looks a little more different when you restart. You find something new, so you're not as angry about the restart. And maybe we could also give the player a little more feedback about what went wrong and what he needs to change next time, so he doesn't get reset again. Don't know. Make a reset by the AI a bit more enjoyable. I mean, it also tells you what you're up for. It's a rage game. Don't forget that. Multiple FPS drops at the beginning. Okay, so once again, post-processing not working. Yes, but I'm using a shitty laptop. A simple 2D platformer jump and run game should still run on your shitty laptop. Low FPS rate. No, it ran smoothly. Near the beginning, it dipped a low FPS. So once again, post-processing not working. Some low FPS in places. But I just looked like slow motion, so it wasn't that bad. Yeah, that's the problem with GameMaker, that the entire game just slows down when the performance drops under 60, because for some reason it's really not that practical to use delta time in GameMaker. So basically it's like coding everything into fixed update in Unity. And then when the performance drops too low, then it just slows down. Okay, was there something you didn't understand? No. I think I got everything, not at all. Yes, the text message. So the secret yellow pages, the storytelling. I think the AI resets are just too unceremonious. There should be some kind of animation. Okay. Or the AI aggressively spawns a ton of deadly obstacles to kill you in the interrogation room. Yeah, that's a cool idea as well. I just feel this could feel a little inconsistent, because usually when you die, you just get reset to the beginning of the level. So why all of a sudden should the spikes reset you all the way to the beginning of the game? Doesn't really make a lot of sense, in my opinion. But you might be right about the fact that it feels a little too unceremonious. If the AI resets you, the levels could seem older. Interesting idea. I don't think that fits to the story I want to tell. In case you missed that stream, I more or less already have an outline for the story, so I'll try to stick to that as closely as possible. Everything that fits into that narrative is obviously something I can do. Maybe the obstacles should not resemble the spikes. What do you mean? I don't understand. Please explain again. Wait, why does the AI reset you when you tell it that you already played the game? It's annoying. Yeah, I think there is a reason for that. What does the handicap? Okay. Yeah, I've seen that some people were a little confused about the handicap. I think what will definitely help with this is if there are difficulty settings at the beginning of the game, because they would definitely explain the handicap anyway. So easy difficulty would be something like the AI starts with a 20% handicap and the handicap increases more rapidly. Normal is how it is right now, and then difficult is the handicap of the AI doesn't increase at all. So I think that would be a good opportunity to explain the handicap mechanic, just the screen where you choose the difficulty. Yeah, I think this is almost high priority difficulty settings. Because some people just told me it was too easy, others told me it was too hard. Some told me the AI handicap should increase more slowly, others told me it should increase a lot faster. So let's just put difficulty settings in the game, it's the easiest solution. And then that should also explain the handicap mechanic. Okay, why I'm gonna reset when I'm jumping at have you played this game before? Okay, so people seem to be confused about that. I hope I'll be able to clear up that mystery with my storytelling. Hope it will make sense in some shape or form. And I hope I will be able to make it a little less annoying as well. Oh my god, we are already 20 minutes in. I've gotta hurry up. This is taking too long. Thought there was only one level. Very not good. Oh, I'm so sorry. But what I've definitely realized with Oversnova is that I released the demos a little too frequently and too much content. So at some point when I released a new demo, people just didn't care anymore and didn't play it anymore. So I'm a little more careful this time around. Hope you understand. And also I didn't want to push something out there that wasn't finished yet, but I wanted to get some feedback anyway. That's why there's only one level. Hope you understand. Also not everything understandable. Nothing so far, but I didn't follow the story for now. We'll save that for the final game. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a little hard to get the story as of yet. It's only one level. I don't think you can get it. Difficulty is not too easy, but it's a bit easy for now. Make the handicap come in slower. See, here's someone that feels the game is too easy. The character of the AI is interesting so far. Good idea. Your voice acting is in parts a bit too much human. Too human, I guess. The AI should talk a little less often, not comment on everything I do, and not interrupt itself. Okay, I think it rarely interrupts itself. I think it only interrupts itself if you almost make it through. Then I think that voice line has higher priority. Okay, is there anything we can extract from that difficulty settings? We got that. I mean, voice acting has room for improvement, of course. But I'm not sure I'm gonna get it all the way to 100% quality. Will we see the unicorn? Yes, of course, I think so. You will see the unicorn. Okay, oh, you've been writing in chat? Okay, let me do some catching up in the chat. Maybe the AI kills you more directly in that room. Yeah. That's a solution. Maybe it kills you in a different way that somehow resets you to the beginning. Who knows? Hey, good pixels, welcome to the stream. The ones that may kill you when you reset. Yeah, I could destroy with a giant pixelated fist or something. Yeah, that could work, I guess. The trouble with the difficulty setting at the start is that you cannot estimate at all what setting you need before starting the game. That's why there will be an option to change the difficulty setting later on. Or at the very least, I think that would make sense. And also you can hint players into the correct difficulty setting. You can say something like, normal mode, the intended way to play. This is very difficult. You will probably need a couple of attempts to beat this. And you can have casual mode. You'll be able to rush through the game relatively quickly. Something like that. Obviously, those descriptions were a little crappy, but you know what I mean. You should be able to change the difficulty setting on your save file at any point. Yeah, you should just be able to change the difficulty. You got time for the stream? Awesome. You never got handicap, so you're one of the guys that wrote it's too easy, right? It was too easy for you. Damn it. Okay. I wanted to write something down, but I forgot. Difficulty setting. I think it had something to do with the difficulty setting. Explain the handicap mechanic. No, this is a little more low priority. Allow players to okay, maybe we can put the medium priority. And then, oh my god, the Easter egg in the first level is really hard to find. I don't think anybody will ever find it. Most disappointed probably when it's not a rage game, but also when it's too short. Wouldn't be bad if it would cost something, but it wouldn't really work for a viral game. Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. I think that's definitely something I'll have to think about for a while. If I'll add a price point to the game or not. That will be quite a tough call. How to pass that guy asking you to jump to say yes. Okay, apparently you made it, otherwise you wouldn't be here. The yellow cards with text did not seem to fit, but maybe that's just because it's only the beginning. Yeah, so I think they are probably a tiny bit too confusing. I mean, you're not supposed to figure the meaning of those text messages out right away. But I also don't want to leave you completely confused, so I need to find a middle ground in between. And then also I think some of the feedback I received was also that these giant balls of text feel a little intimidating anyway. And I already got a couple of recordings of people playing the game. By the way, if you recorded yourself playing the game, thank you very much. That's definitely super duper helpful. And I definitely got the feeling that they just, okay, whatever, let's keep going. That the text is more of an unpleasant interruption of the gameplay for them. So we'll definitely see if I can find a different solution for that. I think it might be cool if we could make that a little more interactive, the text files. If they're not just plain text, but if you have some decisions and the text is split up into smaller pieces. I think that would make it more fun to interact with. I'm going to blame this on the short length of the demo, but I have no idea what the story is or where it's going. If you have this all caught up with, just ignore this comment altogether. Okay, I think I know more or less where I'm going with the story. Whether it's good or not, who knows? Can only really tell when it's all comes together, I guess. Not sure, was there ever mentioned that you have to go to exit to pass the level? Or watch out for the spikes? No, I don't think that explains. I don't think that's explained, but I think it's very self-explanatory. You'll figure that out yourself, that you need to escape the level and dodge the spikes. Doesn't jump. It took me a while to understand this comment. I didn't really get it. What it means is no. It's a reference to the room where you have to jump to say yes. Nope. Please more. Nothing. Not really. It was quick and easy to understand. Why the AI resets me once again? Nah, didn't understand. You have to double jump at the tutorial. Okay, but you figured it out, I guess. Because the tutorial is set up in a way where if you don't double jump, then you can't progress a little bit. Hi. Oh my god, the stream is very full again. 16 people watching. Please don't write so much. It's too much to read. Difficulty was just perfect. I hate it when I don't progress. Yeah. For me, the difficulty was fine too. Also beat the secret level, cool. For the price, $5 to $10, if around 3 to 5 hours long. If it's much longer, say 10 to 15 hours, gets $15. Okay, I think it will definitely be between 2 and 5 hours for sure. It won't be longer than 5 hours. That will not happen, I think. And for the price point, if we add a price point, it will be around something around $5. I don't understand why the demo is so short. Why the AI hates unicorns so much. Okay, why the demo is so short, I think I explained that earlier. Why the AI hates unicorns so much, that's still coming up. How do you rate the difficulty so far? Blue is too hard and discouraging, yellow is too easy, and red is challenging in a good way, so most people seem to like the difficulty. And then for the other ones, we'll have the difficulty settings. How do you rate the character of the AI? I'm a little disappointed that I didn't make a section here for suggestions for improvement. I'd really be interested in that one. How could we improve how the character of the AI feels, and how could we improve how the voice acting of the AI feels? I think for the most part the quality is fine. It definitely doesn't drag the game down. But obviously if we could improve that even further, that would be quite awesome. And then here the AI should talk less often, just the way it is now. More often, most people said just the way it is now, so I think we got that right as well. And then for the ones who said less often, they will be able to disable the AI entirely in the menu if it just annoys them. But that's low priority. And then obviously volume settings is something a lot of people wanted. We have that in medium priority. Easter eggs. I think this question was a little stupid by me as well, because It's not really obvious what qualifies as an Easter egg and what doesn't. Does a yellow page qualify as an Easter egg? No. In my opinion, not. In some people think maybe yes. I don't know. I have no idea how people rated this. I think nobody found the secret fuse room. It's, as I've said, it's very hard to find. So that's, once again, just ask more precise questions. If you ever create a feedback form like that, remember to ask precise questions. What would you like to see added or changed for the final game? Okay, so we're getting to the interesting stuff here. Really curious to read all of that. Oh my god. It's really awesome how many responses we got here. It's so amazing. That's where you see that building a YouTube channel pays off. Usually getting this amount of feedback this easily, it wouldn't be as easy. Great sentence, Jonas. I'm proud of you. No, but seriously, this is awesome. This is absolutely awesome. So helpful. Okay, let's read this. More AI talking, a bit more reactive to my gameplay situation. Okay. I guess that's an improvement we could try to make. I don't know exactly how to do that, so let's add that to medium priority, low priority. Make AI more reactive to gameplay situation. I think it's already pretty reactive to the gameplay situation. But obviously there's still a lot we could do with that. The art style is quite inconsistent. Everything looks like pixel art more or less, but the particles are round and that's kinda distracting, huh? Which particles are round? You mean the particle, the trail of the snail? Which particles do you mean? Where are the round particles? I know what you mean. Try making death particles not round. Not round, squares. I think that wouldn't look bad. I'll try it. It's also not a difficult thing to do. And then other than that, I don't really know if there are any round particles. Don't really know. Hey, probably means the trail of the snail. Okay. Okay, that's also. I mean, try making trail of the snail squarey. That's not a word, but I'm sure I'll know what it means. I loved the ambient music before you start running around and dying. I think the music should be similar to that throughout the whole game. Okay. Interesting. I think a lot of people told me they liked the music in the main level. So for now, I'm gonna ignore that second part, but if I ever hear that again, I'll look into it. The game is very good right now. I think it would be cool that the levels in the future have a lot of variety. Maybe should make another list for future or for the planning phase, because next up is definitely a little bit of a planning and re-evaluation phase for me, where I just plan out the rest of the development and think about all of the things that are still missing, that I still want to add, and all of that. Let's put all of the inspiration for that in here. So one of the main concerns is definitely make sure there's enough variation. I think that's pretty self-explanatory that I'm going to try to do this, but let's just write it down just to make sure. Level design is good, but sometimes there's a gap left that signals there's a hidden passage, like tunnels in Mario, e.g. at the top of the exit of the first or second level, a 3-tile long indent. I think it would be better to get rid of them. Also get rid of good job and other encouragements, make the AI an asshole. I think I definitely agree with that. Otherwise, an absolutely amazing job. Blew my expectations to smither... What the hell is this word? Smithereens. Okay. Thank you for whoever wrote this. Yeah, make the AI more of an asshole. Especially the line at the end when you beat the level, it shouldn't say something like "good job." That's off character. I kind of agree. A unicorn level, yes. I've got some stuff planned with the unicorn, so don't worry about that. More levels. A challenge mode, whatever that means. A more difficult mode. Was it too easy once again? Also, there is something like a challenge mode if you manage to find the fuse room. Difficulty settings. Changing the speed of the spike hitbox activation if you would get it to work. Yes, that's a good idea. I think the difficulty will mainly affect the AI handicap. Maybe the game speed a little bit. I think the spike spawning is a little too fast for some people, so maybe it should have an impact on that as well. Yeah, let's experiment with that. We can see how it feels. The current AI is too uninteresting. I'd make it more memorable. Rather let it speak like a clumsy trickster who tries to act like an intelligent person at the beginning but becomes an annoying troll towards the end. I'm not sure how that would make it more interesting. It's hard to imagine for me at the moment. I can't really imagine it right now, how that would look and how that would fit into the game. I'm definitely trying to take all of this criticism seriously, for sure. Would be interesting. Oh. I was just wondering why I have such a weird thing here. But I guess I put that there myself. Okay, what are you writing in chat? They're too high resolution. Maybe that's what you meant as well. This stream is really interesting, both from a game dev perspective and from a player perspective. Cool. I'm glad to hear that. We almost cracked our viewer limit already. I think 17 is our record. It shows a rarely seen part of the creation process, the reactions to the playtest and how it will influence the final game. Yeah, but I think I'm already in a super lucky position to get this amount of feedback. It's absolutely crazy. I'm not used to that at all. Usually when I develop a game, I give it to a couple of friends. Here, come on, play the game. And I'm telling you, it's so much harder to figure out what your game needs if you only got such a small test sample. This makes a really big difference. Because when you listen to just a handful of people, it's really easy to misinterpret things. Maybe two people say it's too hard, and then you think, okay, shit, my game's too hard. But if you have a larger test sample like this, then you hear all sorts of things, and Maybe you see 5 people say it's too hard, 4 people say it's too easy. And this way you can make a much more accurate estimation of what your game needs, in my opinion. So yeah, my advice is start a YouTube channel, get 1,000 subscribers, and then create a feedback form and ask a little better questions than I did. I mean, what can you do if you don't have an audience yet? I think and you don't need to do it on YouTube, obviously, but it's just a smart idea to build an audience as a game developer, I guess. It's really helpful, both for launching as well as for getting feedback. I think it's definitely working out so far. Okay, where did we stop? The amount of spikes makes some deaths feel like they weren't my fault. Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a little bit unfair. Maybe we can communicate that a little better. Maybe the game should communicate a little more that it's unfair. I feel like that can make it a little less frustrating. If you know going into the experience that it's supposed to be a frustrating and hard and unfair experience, that can make those moments either a little less frustrating or at the very least a little more expected. Hi there, Jolin. Do I know you? I haven't seen you here before. Okay. A local multiplayer mode. Tell me more about the handicap of the AI and which consequences are hanging in the handicap. Okay, yeah, I need to explain that. Watch out by making the game too hard or too easy. It must still play like a hardcore game, but not like people never play it because they can't finish it. Yeah, needs to be something in between. Less spikes at the end of the level. That seems to annoy a lot of people, that you can't get through that narrow passage at the end. I think I'm gonna keep it that way. Maybe more routes to choose because it can be difficult to pass the level with too few ways to go. And what Easter egg? Yeah, didn't really communicate that well what I meant by Easter eggs. I mean, probably meant the 2 hidden levels. A button to mute, toggle the music. Did I write that down already? Volume settings, yes. I would work a bit at the graphics and menu. Yes, I mean, sure, there will be there will be a settings menu. I think it will be a minimalistic one, but there will be one. A lot more levels, German translation. That's a lot of work. I think I'm gonna focus on English first. You should make the laser that shows you when the electric currents get activated in the secret level. They get activated when you stand right in front of them. So I can't show the timing of that. I could increase the hitbox of that a little more so it gets activated a little earlier. The cats. Okay, I think I know who wrote that. The wonky spikes in the intro added more music. Yes, that is something we'll do for the rest of the game, more music. Of course. More of what you've got, more interesting mechanics other than mostly just spikes. Okay, so not just spikes. More storytelling, yes, will be there. Yeah, I should not get handicapped so quickly. It makes you feel like you are too bad and that you probably could have done it without the handicap if you only had a few more tries. So this is, yeah, once again, somebody complaining about the game being too easy, I guess. Maybe we can make the handicap go up a little slower in normal mode as well, if you have difficulty settings. More of a suggestion. What makes me love platform games like Rayman Legends, it's its ability to be simple to learn, difficult to master. I appreciate only having 3 controls in your game and being able to push those 3 controls to the absolute limit. A great example is Calesta. I think I've seen that game. Somebody recommended it to me a couple of weeks ago. Look how Calesta was able to push itself to such great heights only with a dash. I believe this game will go farther than Calesta. Oh, I'm honored. As long as you keep the AI to be really interesting like you are now and keep the player engaged. So yeah, definitely not planning to add any new controls to the game. For sure, I'll just keep it at 3, I think. Okay. First time joining the live stream. I did comment once before in your video. Okay, cool. Hi, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. The game has difficulty spikes, lol. I didn't even find the Easter eggs. I might go look for it now. Yeah, they are hard to find. The hidden levels are very hard to find. The yellow pages are easier to find. But I played at beat the demo like 4 times already. I didn't see any Easter egg. Yes. Okay, Jan giving tips here how to find the secret fuse room. I like it, I like it. Celeste, not Celeste. Oh yeah, sorry. I was pronouncing it with my stupid German pronunciation. Also, the exact level can be found using a walkthrough wall in the feedback level. Oh yeah. Celeste. Oh. Even without the E at the end. I'm playing the game right now to find the secret level. You will never find it. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, we gotta hurry. You recognize how he needs Perry the platypus to compensate for his compulsive loneliness and abusive childhood. If you'd like to know more of what I'm talking about, watch this video. It contains all of his backstories. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna put that on high priority to do here, so I'll have a look at it later. Because we're running out of time, I uploaded a video from my playthrough. Okay. I saw that playthrough already. That was really fantastic. Thank you very much for uploading that playthrough. Stuff like that is super helpful. One thing that I want to add is how the player sees the dialogue. I don't want to read a giant block of text. Look at Undertale, it gives only 10 to 20 words per text box. Use that to your advantage to keep players engaged in your story and wanting more. That's definitely agree with that. I've already started reworking the text system. I'd even go as far to say this is high priority. More levels, I feel that I should avoid using phrases like OMG or LOL feels out of place for an AI. I don't think so. I think the AI has a little bit of a troll character because it was connected to the internet to learn, and that's why it learned all of that troll language, obviously. So it makes sense in my head at the very least. I don't really mind all of that. Yeah, but let's keep it in mind. If too many people complain about it, we can reconsider. AI is a generic robotic voice. Maybe try different pitches or a female AI. Yes. I think one of the main problems is just that it's the easiest to do the voice acting myself. I'm not a super great voice actor, so maybe we'll just settle for something that isn't perfect, but that is at the very least doable for a small dev like me. I think hiring a voice actor would add a lot of additional complications. And also the pitch is already highly varied. Also, I went for the generic robotic voice on purpose, because otherwise it just sounds like me, and that's even worse. Music is catchy, but somehow doesn't fit the setting. Yeah, I think we could add a little more electric vibe to the music. I think that could work. Other than that, I like the contrast. I like the happy music while all of that action is going on. Ah yeah, maybe a little more electronics, even the next thing he says. Like at the beginning, maybe some random glitches that make you realize it's actually simulated by the AI. I don't know if it's this way, but some spikes could be faster than others, so that you can establish a slow pace at the beginning of the level and at the end a faster one. And just having varying the pacing throughout the level, I think is a nice idea. I'll see if that's something I can do. There's too little in the demo for me to be able to give good feedback. Yeah, sorry about that. Using different color stories, please more different obstacles, some enemies, hidden little rewards. Yeah, that's something people seem to like as well. Not reading that for the first time. Rewards. Whatever rewards are going to be, who knows. New gameplay, oh my god, it just keeps going. New gameplay concepts that bring more variety to the gameplay so that it doesn't get boring. I like the handicap, but it would be great if the player could somehow choose whether he wants the challenge or he wants the AI to get handicaps over time. Yeah, difficulty settings, more levels, harder difficulty. The AI fight is okay, but I think it can be done better. How? Tell me how. That would be nice. One thing I want to try doing to the AI face is just making it react to what it's saying in real time. Maybe some glitches or glows whenever it's speaking, depending on the current volume. One thing I'm also not happy with is how the AI looks in screenshots. It looks okay when it's animated, but it looks kinda bad in screenshots. And that's obviously a real concern because it's gonna be pretty much on every single screenshot, so better make sure it looks okay. I would like the AI character to have a more depth. I really like the snail and its animations. I can definitely try to give the AI a lot of depth in storytelling, not hearing that for the first time. I'm not a story writer, but I'll try my best. Less spikes spawning, clearer obstacles. So that's a person that would probably like the spikes to be spawned slower. A fuller story at the start and it unravels as the game progresses, yes. Those weird locks at the beginning don't seem to fit in. Already covered that, more levels. I think the game should be more forgiving with the hitboxes of the spikes. Oh, that's interesting. They're already pretty forgiving, but I guess we can make them more forgiving. Oops. Try making spike hitboxes more forgiving. Okay, time to catch up with the chat. What did you write here? Are there 2 secret levels? Yeah, kind of. The bad part of replaying the demo is that I have to wait during the can you hear me, jump if you can, blah blah blah. Yeah. I mean, in the final game we could have something, I don't really need to write that down now, but in the final game we could have something that allows you to skip that once you beat the game once. That would make a lot of sense. You never realized the A gets handicaps, but it even says it when it gets handicaps. Didn't you play it like 4 times? How to make the notes more interesting for the players. When you touch the notes, let them disappear, freeze the game, and when you want to read again, you can go to the menu and read them. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it would be a nice to have feature, but definitely not a mandatory one in my opinion. Cause menu coding is really annoying. Let's be real here. I want to have as little UI as humanly possible. That makes them feel like collectibles. Yeah, I want to have that collectible vibe for the yellow pages for sure. But I think I'm just gonna do that. For now, I'm just gonna do that by counting a number, how many of them you found. So you get a little bit of an extra reward for collecting them. Okay, luckily we're already at the last question, so that's perfect timing. What would disappoint you for the final game? That's a really interesting question, I think. Really glad I asked that one. And in case you're wondering, questions. Here are the options. What disappoint you most? When it's not free, when it's too short, when it's too easy and not a rage game, when it's too hard and you can't beat it, or other. And oopsie doopsie. I want a summary of the responses, of course. And then the responses are a pretty wild mixture of all kinds of things, but the responses are really interesting. 80.5% said when it's not free, so that's a little concerning as well. Literally 20%. I mean, once again, that data is a little bit screwed because most of the people who played the game are viewers of my channel. And of course, those viewers are expecting the game to be free because I said it would be free. So that making it not free would kind of go against what I've said before. So of course that would piss them off. So I can understand that we have a relatively high number here, but still, it's definitely something we should keep in mind. When it's too short is actually the biggest portion. So this is something that kind of surprised me. Because this is already a pretty crazy tendency I see in Steam and in games in general, that people just complain about games being too short, and that they seem to be pretty mad if they pay for a game and the game is too short. That's a big no-go. Seems like. I personally don't mind short games at all. I mean, once again, it depends how you define short. With short, I mean probably something like 2 or 3 hours, but depends how others define short. I mean, the demo was really short, so most people just want it to be longer. When it's not a rage game, also quite a 7.4%. And then when it's hard and you can't beat it, that would also piss a lot of people off. And then the other things are also pretty interesting responses. When it's too repetitive, it's not really my kind of game. Yeah, it feels too random. If the levels are too stretched out. So these are great things to look out for the future plans, more or less. You can actually look at all of that data by yourself if you missed anything, or if you want to have a look at it again. You can just go to the feedback form in case you answered. Otherwise, just play the game and give a short answer, and then you can see all of the responses as well. If you want to go through that, it's pretty interesting. Unfortunately, we've got to end the stream right here. Let me see if you wrote anything. How do you make the notes more interesting? Okay, we already read that. That lets the notes feel like collectibles. Okay. I actually forgot about a feedback. I wanted to say adding something that differentiates the air jump from the normal jump, like make it a different jump sound for the air jump. It already has a different jump sound, but good point. It's a little too subtle maybe. Medium priority, different air jump from normal jump more. Okay, what else have you got? No, don't make it free? Okay. I guess there's also the opposite team that doesn't want it to be free. Appreciate it. I also think making it free or cheap, at least, it would help you to build more of a following player base for future projects. Yeah, that's kind of the main purpose of this game, to build a following and an audience for future projects. That's definitely the main purpose of the game. That's why I'm a little hesitant about adding a price point to it. But then on the other hand, Jan has some convincing arguments as well. If everybody just ends up making their games free, then earlier or later Steam will look like the App Store, where all of the good games are free. And as a game developer, that's not really something I want either. And if I make my game free, then I contribute to exactly that reality. So that's also something to keep in mind. And I'm gonna spend too much time. Yeah, Jens also right about that one. This project will keep going for a while. At the beginning, as always in game development, you think you'll be able to finish it in a much shorter amount of time. But I'm starting to realize this will take a lot longer than I thought. This will, at the moment, I'm guessing will take another 9 months to finish. But if we're being realistic, might take another year, even take 2 years, who knows? And at that point, making it free becomes kind of silly as well. But we'll see. We don't have to decide right now. Easter egg is a lie. The cake is a lie. Items. No items. I don't want the game to be more complicated. Those who would be disappointed by a paid game should not be in your core audience anyway, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's more the fact that I said it would be free. I think that's why most people would be disappointed about that one. They're expecting a free game. It's probably... I don't know. Of course, you deserve to get paid for it, but a free game could help to get started. Yeah, I mean, there are good arguments for both sides, really. It's a tough call. I don't really know. Anyway, thanks for watching. We're gonna end it right here. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I think it was a good one. Pretty interesting to read all of that feedback, and definitely super grateful for all of that feedback as well. So if you played the game, if you provided some feedback to me, I super duper appreciate it. I don't take any of this for granted. I know how it feels like to make a game and have 5 people test it, and you still feel like you're pretty much in the dark about what's working and what isn't. This is definitely a lot better. So thank you very much for that. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.